What's going on, guys? JSGC 171 here, and we are here now for the Premier League transfer update. And there's been a few transfers over the last week since my last video last week, so we'll just cover them briefly and quickly. But first, the bigger news is kind of that Southampton this week have sacked their manager. So Puel, or however he's pronounced, has left Southampton. And I'm just thinking, why have they sacked a manager? Have they brought somebody else in? Have they already got someone else lined up? So I've just, based on Sky Bet's betting bit, looking at who's possible people linked in. It's Frank de Boer at 11-4, but the favourite is Mauricio Pellegrino. That's not Pellegrini, the Man City manager, but Pellegrino, a manager over in Spain, who's also been linked with Crystal Palace, who are still searching for a manager, and Frank de Boer is the favourite for their job. Pellegrini also linked, I think, with Crystal Palace at some point. So them two kind of looking for their manager rather than transfers, so I'm kind of glad that one's covered there. So for latest updates from Southampton and Crystal Palace, we'll just have a brief look at it now, but I wouldn't expect that there is much. And they've released a retain list. Obviously Crystal Palace signed nobody as of yet. Looking for we covered the retain list in the last video, check that out from last week. They've not signed anybody this week, and we'll just head over to Southampton now as well, who's also announced their retain list. There's nothing too surprising on there. Also, again, not signed anyone, so maybe they're getting left behind in the transfer market by other clubs who have managed to seal a bit of business this week. So we'll just cover that now. Arsenal not done any transfers over this week. These are all factual, confirmed transfers, not rumours, not transfers that are close. I will cover that, but this is just solid, confirmed. Bournemouth, again, no activity. They've brought in Begovic, the goalkeeper, but nothing else. I've been linking on my Manchester City transfer update videos, linking Joe Hart with Brighton. I said it was possible. They're looking for a goalkeeper, but as of yesterday, which is Friday the 16th of June, they confirmed the signing of Australian international Matthew Ryan from Valencia for an undisclosed fee. I'm not sure what the fee is. I'm sure if any Brighton fans are watching, you can leave a comment of how much it is. I just know that it's a club record fee, so I presume it's a double-figure £1 million transfer for them. So that is confirmed. So they've got a new goalkeeper. So what that does for the future of Joe Hart, I don't know. I imagine he's either going to... actually, he's got limited options. He's probably going to have to head into Europe or abroad or wherever, because no teams in the Premier League seem to be after Joe Hart or want Joe Hart. There's no activity this week from Chelsea. We've covered Crystal Palace. Everton breaking the bank this week, signing £30 million rated Jordan Pickford from Sunderland, a former Bradford and Preston loanee from League One and Championship, a solid goalkeeper, a great shot stopper, a big, beautiful kick on him. £30 million is a bit excessive, but it's an English price. If you've ever wondered why there's no English players playing abroad, the inflated transfer fees, that's why. Rated, what, probably double actually what Jordan Pickford's worth. And the fact is, he's Sunderland's goalkeeper from last season. Sunderland have been relegated, so he is a goalkeeper for a relegated club. He's managed to earn himself a promotion to Everton, so I find it really interesting to see how Jordan Pickford does with Everton next season. Huddersfield still haven't renounced their retain list yet. They've signed nobody, so it's a little bit weird. Leicester's announced their retain list, and they've also made a major transfer signing this week, signing £17 million rated Harry Maguire from Hull City. Again, another club that's been relegated. Hull getting lynched of their players. Harry Maguire, £17 million. Again, an inflated transfer fee. I mean, is he really worth any more than between 5 and 10? It's hard to disagree with that. But £17 million has got Hull a lot of money. Leicester do have a lot of money, and Premier League clubs as a whole have a lot of money. So that's kind of what's happening there. We'll just head back up to Huddersfield. I know a transfer is very close for Aaron Moy. I'm hearing £10 million plus. 8 million plus 2 million in add-ons. It could rise to more. It could be as much as 12 million. That's close. Not been confirmed yet, though. So I imagine next week's video, I'll be covering that transfer. Liverpool have sold Andre Wisdom to Derby for an undisclosed fee. I wasn't aware of that transfer. That one slipped the net. Just me looking at it there. obviously is a confirmed transfer. No business from Man City, no business from Man United. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been released. Man United are getting heavily linked with Morata, 70 to 80 million pound from Real Madrid. Could that happen? Perhaps. They've cooled their interest, on Antoine Griezmann, the 70-odd million pound rated player. So I'm not sure that's going to be happening this window since he's signed a new contract with Atletico Madrid. However, the new contract with Atletico has left his buyout clause still there at around, I think, £73 million is what I've heard. So perhaps next summer that transfer may happen when Atletico can replace Griezmann with, they're getting linked with Lacazette of Lyon. Arsenal are also after Lacazette. They have made an offer. Whether that transfer happens is another matter. They've also been linked with Mbappe. Again, whether that transfer happens, I'm not so sure. Stoke have done no business this week. Swansea haven't done any business this week either. Tottenham's only released one player, Philippe Lesniak. So what that does for their transfers, I don't know. I see them getting linked with a lot of right backs. Kyle Walker transfer to Man City, probably going to drag on if it does happen. If it doesn't, are Tottenham going to sign anybody? I don't know. Man United have been linked with Eric Dyer, so they'll need a new centre-back / central defensive midfielder. If Eric Dyer ends up leaving, that's a £50 million transfer from what I've heard. Looks like they're going to keep hold of Danny Rose, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, though, so that's big for them. The more important big players at Tottenham, so they'll be looking for squad players. Obviously, they've already got Kieran Trippier as well to help ease the break if Kyle Walker does end up leaving. And West Ham's also done no business. West Brom's done no business. So that kind of sums up this week's transfer update. I am just going to head onto the transfer specials on the betting one to see what teams are getting linked with whom and whether that transfer is likely. So obviously the big news this week, just yesterday, broke that Cristiano Ronaldo apparently is unhappy in Spain due to his taxing €15 million, I think it is, that he's apparently evaded. So apparently that's unsettled him in Spain and he wishes to leave. He's 5-2 on to stay at Real Madrid. I do think it's some kind of ploy for Ronaldo either to get more money or maybe it's just a desperate cry out for Ronaldo to leave, which I'm not so sure. Man United have been installed as the favourites to sign him at 9-4. Financial fair play will come into it. I imagine Ronaldo will want more money, not less. Can Manchester United really afford to be paying? Well, they can afford to be paying it, obviously, but it's going to seriously dent their profit margins and their financial fair play as well to put someone like Cristiano Ronaldo up front. It'd be a great signing for Manchester United, but I think more likely for Ronaldo possibly may well be to head to America for his brand, because he's starting to brand himself. Could he retire? Possibly. He got the World Cup next year. Ronaldo, maybe he wants to leave on a high, showing that he is the world's best player. China's also a possibility. I'm sure Chinese clubs are more than willing to pay him up to near £1 million a week. I'm sure PSG, who are second favourites for him, are also willing to pay such money for him. Now, this is an interesting one. Alexis Sanchez is only 5-2 to stay at Arsenal, which means that Bayern Munich 9-4, second favourites to sign him, but Manchester City moving at evens to sign Alexis Sanchez. Could that happen? I'm not so sure. I think Bayern Munich, in my opinion, is probably more viable than Man City due to Arsenal really not wanting to sell to a Premier League rival. And Bayern Munich have made Douglas Costa available for transfer. And I do know that Juventus have declared an interest in Douglas Costa, which would free up some much-needed space and money for Bayern Munich to sign Alexis Sanchez. However, I do know Man City are willing to meet Alexis Sanchez's contract demands of up to nearly £300,000 per week. It's a lot of money. I'm not sure how Man City are meeting the financial fair play. I imagine they're going to have to sell quite a few players. We've got players like Fabian Delph, Fernando that are very squad-rotated players, maybe not needed. Player like Kolarov. We've also got Nolito that's available for transfer, Joe Hart, Wilfred Bonny, Samir Nasri, Mangala. So all them add up in wage and maybe make that viable. But until them players leave and they leave permanently or go out on loan, and I know the other clubs are paying their wage, that transfer isn't going to happen. So that's not going to be happening anytime soon. I probably wouldn't be too worried if I was Arsenal. fans right now. Diego Costa's another one, 9-2 to leave Chelsea, which means clubs are more favourite to sign him. Second favourites are any Chinese club. Now, he has been linked with a move to China before. Back in January, he was keen on the move to pay him a lot of money, but the new favourites are AC Milan as recent takeover, making some quality signings. Ricardo Rodriguez, the left-back, moving from Germany over to Milan. Great signing for them, and they're adding more. But their goalkeeper, Donnarumma, I think his name is pronounced, has not signed a new contract, so maybe he wants to leave. So that may be a little bit of a goalkeeping merry-go-round happening in Europe. I know David De Gea has been linked with Real Madrid too. Mbappe is 6-5 to stay at Monaco. I think he'll be staying. Arsenal moved out to 7-2 to sign him. He's only keen on going to Real Madrid, who were interested in signing him before he went to Monaco too. Not sure how Real Madrid's going to fit him in alongside Bale, Ronaldo and Benzema. I imagine Mbappe needs to be playing week in, week out. But maybe if Ronaldo leaves, like he wants to, maybe that Mbappe transfer might well happen. Now, Wayne Rooney's 4-1 to leave Manchester, to stay at Manchester United now, which tells me that he's likely to leave. He's on a lot of wage, so I think any Premier League club signing him, Stoke and Everton are linked. Could they afford him? Well, it'll take a lot of their wage and it'll take a lot of their money to sign somebody like Wayne Rooney, who is on the wrong side now of 30 on his age, so he's getting on a bit. MLS club 15-2, an American move would make sense, but apparently he's been offered a lot of money to go to China, so any Chinese club at 11-8 on is the favourite to sign him. We've covered Southampton's little managerial crisis. Another little bit of a crisis is Virgil van Dijk. Is he going to leave? Is he going to hand a transfer request in? Who knows? Only one club linked now is Liverpool, but they've ruled out signing him, so that transfer may well not happen. To stay at Southampton 6-4, and that could well be a factor in him staying. Depends who they bring in. Who knows? We'll see with that. Aubameyang may well stay at Dortmund. He's only 3-1 to stay. PSG have been linked. I know he's been looking at houses in Paris, so maybe we'll get 2 + 2 = 5 there, but perhaps that'll happen. John Terry, a free agent, been linked with all kinds of clubs. I know West Brom are in for him. Bournemouth been linked. America has been linked with him for a move to one of their clubs, but the favourite is free spending Harry Redknapp, who just loves to spend money. 4-1 on favourites Birmingham City. Wow, that will be really, really interesting, wouldn't it? We've got other names I mentioned on here. There's Aaron Cresswell, Aaron Ramsey, Januzaj. Januzaj could lead to go to Spain. He's been linked with Musa, Oxlade-Chamberlain. Are they all going to leave? Probably not. Lacazette's on their Arsenal favourites to sign him, but he's actually 7-4 to stay and 7-4 to sign for Arsenal and 6-5 to stay at Lyon. I think he'll stay. Alexandro, all the interest has been eased on him at Juventus, so it looks like he'll be staying as Man City and Chelsea probe a left back. I think Liverpool are after a left back as well. All of them have been linked with Benjamin Mendy. Morata 8-1 on to sign for Manchester United. That's what we mentioned before. And there's all kinds of transfers. If you head on to Sky Bet, you'll see all on the football section. Go on the transfer section and you'll see them all. I've kind of covered all of the likely ones. There's others to keep your eye out on. Players like Chris Smalling. There's players like David De Gea. There's other players such as Douglas Costa, who I mentioned, been linked with Juventus 6-1 on to sign for him. There's Fabinho's developing transfer. Apparently Manchester United aren't interested in Fabinho according to the Manchester Evening News, yet Sky Bet's got him as 6-1 on to sign him and 4-1 to stay at Monaco. And apparently Monaco don't want to sell Fabinho, they don't want to sell Benjamin Mendy, so this could drag on for some time yet. Donnarumma's been linked with Real Madrid 7-2, so maybe David De Gea will be staying at Man United if you're going off what the bookies are saying. Do remember though, one thing with bookies, it's just normal people putting money on, and the more money you put on one bet, the closer the odds could get in. So for example, let's go for something ridiculous, like Jack Wilshere. Here we go, perfect. Jack Wilshere to sign for Chelsea, 25-1. Jack Wilshere's probably not going to be signing for Chelsea, but if I slapped a load of money on Jack Wilshere to sign for Chelsea, them odds will shorten. And the more people that put the money on Jack Wilshere to join Chelsea, the odds will shorten, even though there might be no ground in it. So that's basically how bookies work with the odds. So just check that one out. One thing I'm going to cover is Joe Hart, because I'm intrigued as to him. West Ham have linked with a loan move. Oh, it's a bit boring, isn't it? He wants a permanent transfer. Liverpool have been linked. Liverpool still got 2 good goalkeepers at their club, so that's probably not going to happen. Chelsea also linked, so something to keep an eye out on. I think that one's about it. So I think we'll leave it there because there's lots to get through there, and it's a little bit. It takes a lot of time. So just check that one out if you wish. So. We'll see you next week. So next Saturday for the next Premier League update, it will be the 3rd Premier League update. Hopefully there'll be more transfers to cover other than just the 3 or 4 that's been confirmed this week. Keep an eye out for an EFL 1 transfer covering Championship League 1, League 2. That'll come much closer towards the end of the transfer window, or should I say more towards the start of the season. So we'll cover what teams... which teams have signed whom, and what I really think of their transfers and where they're going to end up in the league come the end of the season. I'll do that one probably sometime, maybe towards the end of July, so in about a month's time. So keep an eye out for that video at some point. Check out the Man City transfer videos if you're a Man City fan or you're interested in any Man City transfers. Please do check out my other video for the Premier League transfer update covering all of the transfers last week, including the retain list and any players that have signed, including Bernardo Silva to Man City and other players such as Kolasinac signing for Arsenal, everything else. Don't forget to like the video if you wish. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This has been JSGC 171. Have a nice day. Peace. Ciao for now.